Welcome back, everybody. We are playing my favorite table, which is NBA Fastbreak. If it's kind of harder to tell on here, but if you look at the top part of the play field, the actual real table, those are huge ramps that just go up on top, and you go into a basket. So what's really interesting about this table is the score is actually the same amount of type of score you would get in basketball. So every time you make a basket, it's 2 or 3 points depending on that. Also on the top area right here, you can see there's a player. That player can move, and then there's another thing that blocks you, and then you can switch and pass the ball between different areas to shoot it. So it's really interesting. I like all these things that are related to sports, just not the sport itself. So this is a table that I love. What's the score on this?
124 is your top
So
score.
that's a high score for NBA.
Yeah.
Welcome to NBA Fastbreak Portland Trailblazers against Vancouver Grizzlies. This one is going to be a classic matchup. Robinson.
And I like because the shooting's right up the middle, which is usually where I can hit the easiest. See, watch, see, it's right here. Pass. And then boom, you hit this to shoot. Just off. There it is. See? Foul shot.
Shoot him up the middle for half-court hoops.
Got it.
Robinson for
Nice.
three.
Got it.
Power point.
So there's a game store that is not far from here that they have had one of these for sale for a long time. And I'm like, man, if I had the money and room, this would be one of the real ones that I get.
Ryder nails the free throw. The left ramp is wide open for some hook shot hoops. Jump ball.
22 points, not so great.
And the ball is into Anderson.
There we go.
Free throw.
It's just a free throw, though.
Oh, he's racking up the power points.
Gotcha.
Anderson for 1 point.
Yeah, see, they got some that are just a lot that are 1 point, so I don't know how I got that one.
Post. Dishes left. The shot.
Boom, gotcha, boy.
Two. Shoot him up the left ramp for a run and shoot hoops. It's good.
But it does capture the feeling of an NBA game, like with the way the music changes
Yeah.
and all that.
Power points. Wallace.
It's really fun to play, like, and that's what really matters. It's got a lot of cool ramps. Nope.
He's looking for an opening. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Robinson.
Oh,
Oh,
no,
wow.
come on, bullshit.
Multiball. Sabonis for 1 point. Ryder for 2. Anderson makes the free throw. Wallace with the rebound.
Come on.
And now from the outside, Robinson. Abdul-Rahim looks tired on defense.
Abdul Rahim. Oh, here's another thing that's really interesting about this, guys. If you look at the back glass, you can see there's a little basketball and there's a flipper. So in the real back glass, there's a special mode that you get, and then that basket where the Bulls guy is on the left, you shoot. And it's like actually shooting a hoop on the back glass.
Oh, cool.
So it's got like some really cool features that are very specific to this table, which I like. It is now up to you. Not up to you. It's not like we're trying to save the fucking world. It is. It's that movie I've been talking about.
Where is the point where I would shoot the basket from here? What am I looking for?
So you see these little
Yeah.
things right here. You'll see there, and then you use the flippers, it'll pass between there, and
Okay.
Today's game is being brought to you by in conjunction with
I don't think there's been a sporting event since 1993 that hasn't used the song Jump Around at some point during the game that's outside of soccer. I don't know if they have. Maybe they haven't in soccer. I haven't watched enough football to know. There you go. 6 points right off the bat. You gotta beat 82. You gotta beat Granny Goodness. She's been zombified. You beat her to death earlier, but she's back. I've tried. It doesn't. She comes back every time. For me, instead of The Walking Dead, I'm living The Walking Dread. Because she's just still there.
Oh, he bounced that baby right off the rim.
There you go.
Here comes the jump ball. Reeves is causing him trouble. Look up. It's time for
There it is. You're up on the top one.
flip those flippers.
Ah.
Flip. See, there it is. Up here. Up backlash.
Oh, gotcha.
Keep going. You guys are seeing time's up.
In play. And the center lane is wide open. Inside to Sabonis.
You're like a coach.
Right here, it's time for Hot Dog Mania. All shots are lit.
I'm all about the sporting events when I'm involved.
Make all four for Multiball. Look at those power points. Ryder on the drive. Oh, he should be wearing a cape today.
Did you say he's wearing a cape today?
He hurls that.
Because I don't know if they were all of a sudden like walking out wearing capes or something. I might watch a basketball game here and there. Oh my God, I did not know this. I've been wanting to go to a live WWE event, right? When they come into Denver. SmackDown was in Denver yesterday, and The Rock, for the first time in 4 years since he retired, came out of, because he's the strike, he has nothing else to do, was there. And I'm like, oh, I only found out when I saw an article.
If your score
Because that'd be like going to a wrestling event's super fun.
I've never been.
Yeah.
I've been to
too bad.
small ones that like came to my
Yeah.
high school. It was like
Yeah.
Iron Sheik,
Yeah. I mean, but he was like,
Doink the Clown.
Doink. He got arrested for doinking too many people. Did you put your score? Do you know your score?
44.
All right.
Thanks.
That's about half the score
I still feel validated, you know.
because of Doink the Clown. Doink the Clown validated Kim when she was in middle school.
That does not sound right.
This one underway. Get back in the game. Oh, he faked
When did you know you became a woman? Well, Doink the Clown came to my school.
And I got validated hard.
all four
Yeah.
for Multiball.
Iron Sheik came up. Sheik came up the rear.
Break up the center ramp.
With his shoes.
He died just this year.
Yeah.
Looks like that one got tipped away.
I've only been to one live event that was here in Denver, Colorado. I was like 12, 13 years old, and it was Hogan before he moved to the WCW. He was fighting Sergeant Slaughter during the first Iraqi war, and he came out with like smoke bombs, all in like, you know, camouflage. It was super. We were like right up in the front too.
Nice.
Like as like a. I was almost past the time where I stopped watching wrestling, but it was still just like as a kid, like Hulk Hogan was everything,
Yeah.
right? To a lot of 80s kids. And so like seeing him in like I got to touch his hand because he came over to the side and he just destroyed Slaughter. It was a lot of fun.
Those were the days.
And people don't know this, Sergeant Slaughter was actually a big person behind the scenes as a scout for WWE and as a writer and just general producer. If you look at the era of wrestling, the aggression era, not aggression era, that's a different era. if you look at like the late 90s and stuff like that, and they used to have like the, oh my god, I can't believe he's going crazy, and they come out and people would be holding back, like these people from the back, and like, who the hell are these people? A lot of times it was Sergeant Slaughter, but because he wasn't dressed in his military garb, you didn't know.
Yeah.
Because he was already backstage running stuff. So they're like, oh hey, he just run out and like hold somebody back or whatever it was, yeah. Oh, that. Yep, that's it. Sergeant Slaughter killed my mother. And he was vicious. He slaughtered her.
It's a specialty.
But we were literally just a couple miles from The Rock. We could have been hanging out with The Rock and not even know.
Man. There's got to be like, I need to sign up or like on one of my apps that I look at stuff that's something of like, this is what's going on in Denver this month. You know what I mean? Or whatever. Yeah.
So then I can see that type of stuff. Because I'll hear people that say like, oh, I just went and saw X, Y, and Z in concert. And I'm like, I didn't even know they were here. Because you have to like go out of your way to be like, hey, I wonder who's coming in concert. And like, I'm not thinking of that stuff on a regular basis. I did in the beginning of the summer. I looked at everybody because they had people like all the way through like November.
Here comes the jump ball. Tip-off combo. He's got the tip-off. And the ball comes in too.
Terrible.
Robinson. If your score matches the winning car number, you're going home a winner.
There it is. Get the car.
Oh, too bad. No
How do I get the car?
It was random.
Oh. What do I do? 11.
Let me tell you this. There have been babies that have accidentally hit one of these buttons that have gotten more score than you just got right there.
Thank you.
And for me, there's always a certain level that I just can't go down to, and that's a score I can never get. Now I'm gonna get 2. I'm gonna get
I'll
10.
just leave
I'm gonna
now.
get 10. Oh, that's mine. No, see I thought somebody was like Laughlin was standing there. Right.
It's the babies coming in to usher me out.
I saw a baby one. Wasn't a fan. Whoa!
I hope you get 10.
Here's the tip-off.
Uh,
Oh, he picked himself up that time.
Yeah, I can't hit up the middle. I had it in that first area.
Is on him like a glove. Sabonis nails the free throw.
Do you think when people make the songs that are like played in sporting events, they're like, this doesn't sound sporty enough. Come on, Eminem, makes that song a little bit more sporty.
Heads on court. Ryder for 2. Oh, he bounced that baby right off the rim. Pass with the Clippers. He lobs it into the paint. To the post. Oh, what a pass. Throws it up. Anderson for 2 points.
Just this tie now. I was like, all right, I gotta pay attention.
You're like, please God, let me at least tie.
Oh no, I got a ball save too.
Ball in. Oh, he wins a million.
What?
You know where they grab somebody like, you
Yeah,
make this half-court
yeah.
shot? I mean, it didn't give me any extra points because that's not how it works.
Should.
It probably lights something, so like there's slam right there.
Field goal? What?
Okay, so a field goal is any shot that's made that is not a three-pointer. So like it just means a 2-point shot. So you have a free throw, which is 1 point. Then you have a field goal, which is 2 points, and then a 3-point.
Okay.
That's the scoring. So if you ever have seen a post-game, and I only know this because I play a lot of NBA Jam, but you'll see like field FG at a player's stats, and that's just how many field goals, like their field goals. Do you have any friends that like almost pretty much, not every time, but you'd say like once a month, like it's gotta be somebody you see regularly enough that they're gonna tell you the same fucking story. And they have, I mean not the exact same one, but maybe there's a group of stories, but you know they're always going to be telling that story if they're in a group, like a new group. And you're like, oh fuck, oh, here we are, we're in a new group of people, so I know for a fact that they're gonna tell this stupid story again.
No.
I have friends. I have a friend like that. I know that he's going to tell that story. You're up.
Get ready for some game features in the Portland Trailblazers going against the Seattle.
I'm the person, I'll usually stop them and be like, you told this story. I mean, or I'll step away and be like, I'm gonna let them tell this story, and I'll step away. I don't
But you do have people that do it, though.
probably more like a family member, because, you know.
Because you don't have anybody who's told you, like, maybe not regularly, but there's somebody who's, like, they've told you a story so many times, and you're just, like, at the point. Like, over the years, you've known them so long, and you're like, why? Obviously, I fucking know this. I've known you for 30 years.
That would mostly be like a family member, but, like, I haven't had a friend do that.
Maybe you forgot the story, too, and they are, and you're just not aware of it.
No.
You don't think so? You remember every story ever told?
Because I will be like, I've heard this story, I'm gonna step away.
Well, because you're aware of it. I'm talking about the ones you're not aware of. You can't answer that because you don't know, because you're not aware.
What do you mean I'm not aware? If I've heard it, I know.
Yes, but that's saying that every time somebody tells a story, you remember if that story's ever been told in your presence, and that's impossible for you to say for sure.
Suppose.
Because, like, what if it's something that they only do and you most likely have been at a point where your memory's not as great? Maybe you were drunk most of the time they tell the story.
Looks like that one got tipped away.
I'm just the person that'll call somebody out and be like, yeah, you've told me this.
Trap is wide open for some
If they're telling me. Now, if they're telling it to somebody else,
You don't say, like, I don't want to shut up because I exist right now in your space.
if they're telling it to somebody else, I'm gonna let them tell it to the new person. What are you getting at? Here,
No, I was just curious.
Oh, okay. I let the person have their moment if they're telling it to someone new who hasn't heard it. I'm not gonna be like, oh my god, you're telling this again. I'm not. Is that what you're getting at? Like, here we go with your story about the grizzly bear. I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna let them have their moment.
I'm definitely gonna do that.
If they love telling
I'm gonna
the
say
story,
it about the grizzly bear too. Like it's gonna be a different story, and I'm just gonna be like, oh, stop talking about that damn grizzly bear and Dr. Dude, and then people are like, what kind of story is this?
Dr. Dude.
There's some article and it was like Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, and I'm like, that is the dumbest name I've ever. It actually made me angry.
Is this the...
No, now you're doing something you shouldn't.
I didn't want to miss my chance to make a...
But have you ever like read a name or like a title of something and it bothers you so much that it made you angry? Like
Not that I can
it was
recall.
Dr. Britt Baker DMD. And I was like, that is a dumb name. It was like a wrestler. It was like some wrestling chick. And I was like, that is a dumb name. Like, I'm booing her, like, reading the article. That name is just stupid. It's overly long for no reason. And what's the DMD? Why do you have a full name and then have also an abbreviation? It's like, if it was like Dr. Yang MD, that makes sense. But it would still be even kind of weird, Dr. John Wang, MD. I mean, I guess you can still do that. But the MD is implied when you say fucking doctor. You don't need the MD on top of that.
I think there's different levels of doctorate or degree, though.
If a doctorate is a doctorate. You can have a doctorate in other things that are not medicine.
Right.
But you don't need to say the MD. You're saying that to differentiate between having a doctorate and a medical degree, because MD is for medical degree. I could see that. You can say, here's Dr. John Wang. Well, he could be a doctorate of fucking, anthropology or something. Yeah. But most people are going to make the fair assumption that when somebody announces that this is doctor, 9 times out of 10, it's a medical doctor, because that's true.
I can tell you that maybe less than 1% of 1% that somebody said doctor and they were meaning a different type of doctor spoken to me.
I think if they added the suffix of whatever, it was because they wanted you to know something different about their title.
But DMD is nothing. I'm just saying that's a separate thing. I think MD is stupid to add anyway, but what I'm saying is that this was Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, which I don't even know what the fuck that is. I know a DMD is what you're looking at in a score. That's a digital matrix something. I don't know what the last D is, but that's what that is. I just thought that that name was overly long and somehow offended me in some way, that it bothered me.
Now,
You ever read something?
Now I would like to go get a doctorate with the longest suffix of...
You'll be laughing with all those fucking bills. The college bills ain't worth the joke.
I don't know. Just to make you mad, I'm going to get the most...
Because based on what you make now, you go back to school and get a doctorate and probably make less than you do now.